Welcome back to the deep dive. I'm looking at my workstation right now, and I've got this monster tower. It generates so much heat.
Oh, yeah. And the fan noise.
The fan noise is bleeding into my microphone. It's that classic problem, right? You need all that power, but you just want the machine to be somewhere else, in a closet.
Exactly. But physics usually gets in the way. You move that tower too far, you start to get, signal degradation.
Precisely. Which brings us to what we're looking at today. It's the NTI ST-IPUSB4K-LCUNV.
That is a mouthful. It's their low-cost 4K HDMI USB KVM extender over IP.
Okay, let's skip the acronyms. We know KVM. The real problem has always been the distance. Your standard HDMI or USB cable, it just gives up after, what, 15 feet?
15, maybe 20 if you're really lucky.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at expensive optical cables or some proprietary system.
Right.
But this NTI unit is taking a totally different approach. It's designed to bridge that gap using the network cables you probably already have, SECTI 6, 6A, that kind of thing.
So I'm just patching over Ethernet. But okay, let's get into the specs, because this is where I start to get a little skeptical. Sending 4K video is a huge bandwidth hog.
It is.
How far can this thing actually go before it all falls apart?
In a direct point-to-point connection, so just transmitter to receiver with one cable, you're looking at 328 feet.
328 feet.
100 meters. And that's carrying Ultra HD 4K at 30 hertz, or if you drop to 1080p, you get a full 60 hertz.
100 meters is. That's impressive. But what about the quality? I mean, 4K can mean a lot of things. If I'm looking at text, like in a CAD drawing, I need it to be sharp.
And that's the key question. Is it compressing the color data?
Exactly.
Well, the spec sheet says it supports YUV 4.4.4 CAR, so there's no chroma subsampling.
So no fuzzy text.
No fuzzy bleeding text you get on the cheaper ones. It also supports 36-bit deep color. So the image integrity for like a designer, it really holds up.
Okay, that 4.4.4 support is huge. Now, the name, it says over IP. That tells me we're not just limited to a straight line from A to B.
Right, you can route it.
So I can put this through a switch.
You can, and that's where it gets really flexible. You can do point-to-many, so come computer to a bunch of screens, or even many-to-many. Think a rack of servers, multiple users.
But there's got to be a penalty for that, right? A switch adds latency.
There is a trade-off, yeah. It's mostly distance. If you put a switch in the middle, the max range per leg drops to 164 feet.
50 meters.
Right, 50 meters. So you get all that routing flexibility, but you lose a bit of the total reach on each run.
And setup. If I'm doing that many-to-many, can I just, grab a cheap, unmanaged switch?
Oh, definitely not. For that kind of matrix setup, you absolutely need a managed switch. You're dealing with a ton of multicast traffic.
I see.
And if you don't configure things like IGMP snooping correctly, you'll just flood your entire network. It'll grind to a halt.
So it's plug and play for a direct line, but it's call your network admin if you're building a matrix?
Pretty much.
Okay, speaking of that matrix, if I broadcast my PC to 3 different rooms and 3 people all grab a mouse, who wins?
It's not a free-for-all, thankfully. The system locks USB control to just one remote unit at a time, so no one's fighting over the cursor.
That makes sense. What about the media side? It's HDMI, so I'm assuming we get audio.
You do.
But is it just basic stereo, or can I pass through, say, surround sound for an editing suite?
No, it supports the full suite. Dolby, DTS, PCM, LPCM. It's a completely transparent pass-through for the audio stream.
Good. I also noticed the model number ends in UNV. I'm guessing that means universal.
It does, and it's actually a pretty useful feature if you travel. It means it ships with a universal power adapter system.
So if you're setting up a temporary command center somewhere.
Exactly. You're not stuck hunting for a voltage converter just to get your rig online.
That's a nice touch. Now, the price. It's listed around $450, which for a cable extender sounds pricey, but for an IP KVM, that's actually pretty competitive, isn't it?
It's very aggressive. I mean, enterprise IP KVMs can run into the thousands for a single node. So to get 4K, 4.4.4 color, and matrix switching for that price with the 2-year warranty, it's a really strong value proposition.
So the bottom line here is this device effectively lets you just delete the physical computer from your workspace, but you keep the experience feeling completely local.
That's the perfect way to put it. You get the quiet desk, and the machine gets to live in a nice, cool server room.
It really does blur the lines, doesn't it?
It does. It kind of makes you ask a bigger question. If your personal computer is now just a node on a network 300 feet away, and your entire experience is mediated by IP packets, does the concept of a local machine even exist anymore? Or are we all just becoming thin client users without even realizing it?
Something to think about next time your office is completely silent. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.